Hello, everyone. We are so excited. We have Shayla Twit, and I love her already because she shares my daughter's name, and she is from Sarasota, Florida. So I'm so excited about that since I just moved to Sarasota myself. And she is an amazing agent, and you guys are in for a treat. So, Shayla, welcome.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
All right. Well, first, I want to talk about leads for just a second. Everyone right now is looking for more leads. So I just want you to kind of talk about what is working for you right now and where are you getting the most business?
Kind of all over the place right now when I compare to where I sourced my business from the year prior and the year prior to that. So what I'm seeing in my own business in Southwest Florida, being an agent of a long time, things always change. So last year and the year prior were much more repeat referral heavy. This year, I'm seeing a variety of different ways of getting business. I've actually started door knocking. I never thought I would ever door knock in my entire life, but I listed a $1.9 million house that way. I found the buyer that way, door knocking too. So I double dip both sides. I'm very heavy in mailers and I
So
get
let's start right there with the door knocking because I think that everyone I know that does door knocking is like, it's really good, but people are just like, oh, that's so old school, or I don't feel comfortable, or I don't feel safe. They have a lot of mindset issues around that. So let's just stay there for a second. And are you doing it in your neighborhood? Because to me, that would be the easiest. Anywhere that was kind of the surrounding area where I lived would seem really organic. So talk about that.
I don't do it in my neighborhood. My target market is somewhere else. When I come home, personally, I want to just have a respite at home and be a private person. So I actually don't market to my own neighborhood. I market to island properties, generally snowbird second homeowners. Generally, they're happy, they're wealthy, they like the company. So the areas I've selected that I've marketed to for years, they probably already seen my name. They probably get my mailer every single month. It's more of a warm lead. I generally go with a colleague of mine that we've listed some properties together. Sometimes not, but generally with another party. It's a man and a woman. So it's less like you're coming to the door and you're not like, it's a soft approach because there's a man and a woman. So, like, if it's a wife that answers, she might gravitate more toward me, or if the husband might gravitate more toward him. So it's a bit of a less abrupt approach. And what we found works, we actually learned this from a house that we knocked on. He happened to be a retired coal banker broker, and he was so sweet. He emailed me the next day and said, well, I have some advice for you. Why don't you, instead of asking that owner if they would like to sell, why don't you, because people like to tell on their neighbors, instead ask him or her, do you know of anyone in your neighborhood that's considering selling? And you can see the curtain come down, and it's like less salesy. They feel more relaxed when you ask them that, and it's really worked. Not to mention, I have his house listed right now.
Oh my gosh, that's so good. Okay, so
Yeah.
let's start. Let's just have a quick conversation because I want to go through the whole door knocking thing. So you're going to knock on my door, and I'm like, hi, can I help you? What are you saying next?
Well, we introduce who we are, and that we're just in the neighborhood. We have a buyer that has looked in the neighborhood, most likely, or for something similar, can't find what they're looking for. And do you know anyone that's, in the neighborhood that is thinking of selling? And that's it's, we've only had and we've done this quite a bit. We've only had a couple people that are like, what are you doing here? Like, we pick areas that are just, like I said, it's more affluent generally, and areas that just we've had really good turnover business rent from both listing and buyer sides. So
Awesome. Okay, and then what would you say is kind of your ratio when you're door knocking? You'd say, okay, I'm going to go to 20 doors. Like, how many people are even home and are answering the door? And what's the ratio of how many doors do you have to do to be able to get a listing?
so we haven't done it too long. I would say over the last year, I mean, maybe once a month, twice a month. In the summertime, it's far less. Um, Sorry, my phone's ringing. Um, It's less, and also because it's so hot here in the summertime, we have to go early in the morning, but not too early to where like we're bothering people and they're like, why are you here at my house early? Um, so it really varies. I don't do a lot of it, but we have had 3 high-end 7-figure listings and sold those listings due to door knocking.
Awesome. Okay, so what else are you doing to generate leads right now?
I've had one listing from Instagram, but he's known me for years, but because I showcase myself and talk about the type of properties I gravitate more toward, waterfront, more luxury properties, he was like, "Yep, I've known her. I knew him from the gym for years and years when I moved here." And then when it was time to sell, he's like, "I just knew that you were the one." Like they didn't even interview other people. So it's like it's generally not from one source. You think it might be from Google, but they really found you on YouTube. So that's why it's important to do a lot of different things. And then they look for you in other places to solidify, like, okay, they're in other places, and then choose you that way. They might look on LinkedIn, they might look. So social media, I listed and sold their house for 1.25 million. And then their friends bought because we've all known each other from the gym forever ago. And the people that are mutual friends of ours, they bought a new house in the 900s, and I have their house closing on Friday, in that under like 500 range. So it was like, and I love these people. It's like you're not working because you know all of them. And so that was from the Instagram post, listed his house, and then those two talk all the time. And it was like a reminder, like, oh, we just sold our house for Shayla. Duh, we should use her.
I love
Not
it.
just because I know them, it's because I put myself out there too.
So you seems like you're doing a lot with YouTube and doing it organically. Talk about what you're doing on YouTube and what you're doing on social media that's working.
So I like imagine yourself watching a television show and you expect to see the episodes on certain days and certain times. So every week, twice a week, every Tuesday and every Thursday, I post my videos at midnight. You can pre-schedule it. So I post videos religiously for months and months and months and months. I have over 600 videos. I talk about real estate, I talk about the lifestyle. Like I'm picturing someone who doesn't know anything about Sarasota, like who are the people, who are the businesses. I sit with locally owned and operated business people because I have a high level of respect for someone who is an entrepreneur, like realtors like us. And I have a high level of respect for that. And I think it's important to showcase and give those people business rather than the Starbucks on the corner. Like, let's give this other like local coffee shop some praise and some free advertising, right? And of course, I do it complimentary, and I just want them to do well and succeed. And it gives my audience like places to visit, see, and do in Sarasota, not just go to the beach. So,
No, I love that. And I will tell you, I think we call them business highlights, whatever you want to call them, is
mhm.
so underrated. And I'm just such a big fan of them. I think that
Yeah,
to me, it's like you're going places anyway. And
yeah,
like kind of what Zig Ziglar says, like if you help other people get what they want, they're going to help you get what you want. And I'm such a fan of helping these other people. So do you have maybe an example of what video, if you can look for that and maybe just type it in the chat? But one thing I want to say that you just mentioned that's so important is consistency. You just said I do it every day, and consistency and constantly uploading videos actually
mhm,
shows the algorithm that a channel is active and involved, which will result in better visibility and more chances for growth. But
mhm.
what I don't understand, why do you pick 12 midnight? That's so odd. I want to understand. You said, is it Tuesday, every Tuesday and Thursday at midnight?
Yeah, because I have an audience. I've had the furthest audience all the way to in South Korea. So those people, Europeans might be up at 6 in the morning, but I already have views when I wake up because I get up very, very, very early, like more than 90% of the population at 3:30 in the morning. So when I get up, I already have views on there. It's just an arbitrary time that it actually just automatically pops up on YouTube. So I just selected that as the time. There's no other big reason for it. But consistency is the name of any entrepreneur's game, especially real estate, and I that has definitely suited me well in my career, and just I love what I do, but and do I have to get up at that time? No, but I think it shows in work ethic to your buyers and sellers. And like I said, on the YouTube piece, I think if it's like, and this is always the piece of advice that I give people, like if you're just going to do one or two videos or do it haphazardly or here and there, don't even bother, because people will start to watch you and expect you to come out with the videos. I talk about it in my videos. And it's like, if you say you're going to do something, do it. When people don't do what they say they're going to do and follow through, to me, follow through is everything and your word is everything. And so I think that just comes through, and that exudes also in the way that you schedule your videos, I guess.
I love that so much. So,
Mhm.
let's talk a little bit about, I'd love to actually show one. So, Harry, if you and Paul could show a couple of videos that you're doing, let's start with showing, do you have an example of the business highlight at all?
Oh gosh. Well, it's not up right now, but I just went and met with a local tailor. He's really blown up in town. It's called Tweeds. It's not in the playlist yet. But a local custom suit tailored suit maker. I don't know, I'm saying that all wrong, for men's suits downtown. And he's got an office, a store downtown Sarasota. He's got one in St. Pete, Tampa, and he's growing, and he's a young guy. And it's just exciting to have that type of a store here in town, like a curated suit, much like our luxury clients, like the curated marketing we do. It kind of all fits in with the lifestyle. But I've talked to nail salons, I've talked to architects, builders. I have a new buyer that called me because they saw I had a video about a custom home builder, and they were like, "Oh," because I always ask them how they find me. And they're like, "Oh, we saw your video with Joe Pansula of Trend Homes, custom home builder, and now we're working together. There's as my buyer, so I'm their buyer's agent." And it's just really, and that video is from 5 months ago.
Welcome back to the Best of Sarasota. Today we're touring the area's spas, and right now I'm standing in the beautiful Met. This is located on St. Armand's Circle. It is a 2-story building. We are here upstairs in the spa. They focus on, this is a lifestyle type of a spa where you can come and get lots of different services done. It's multi-generational, so you have from the granddaughter to the grandmother in one room getting their hair done, or the next person getting a full body massage in the next room. This is a really beautiful space. You'll instantly feel relaxed here, and I definitely recommend the Met on St. Armand Circle.
Okay, so that's great. So how do you end these? Like, I think we probably, how, like, do you then say if you're interested in real estate?
Yeah, I usually do it at the end. Sometimes they say, because I try to educate myself on how to be better, because I'm just a realtor. I'm just trying to like get my name out there, and I'm doing all this editing myself. So you do like a hook in the beginning. So just like say what you're going to say in a really quick intro, and then say what you said you're going to say. And then you can, before you get into the content, sometimes I'll be like, before I start, I just want to make sure you know that I want you to call me, because ultimately sometimes they don't maybe guess that you really want them to reach out to you. So sometimes I do it in the front. I forget normally, and I just do it at the end. But I think it's good to kind of mix it up, so you're not always doing the same thing. And I don't go by a script. Like, I sometimes have a list of things I don't want to forget talking about, and sometimes depending on the topic, like if I'm talking about statistics, the market or whatever, yes, I have like a checklist or script. But generally this is off the cuff. This is stuff I know, like, and I'm very familiar with, so it's just very organic.
I love what you did about the best of Sarasota. Like, so you pick a city and you're like, you can either say, hey, that we're doing business highlights, or you can say, hey, this is the best of, Tampa, or the best of whatever area you're in. And we're highlighting the best businesses. If you want, and then you can even add in there, if you want to be featured, right? You can, contact me. We had someone ask, what kind of equipment are you doing? Are you just doing this all on your iPhone, and how are you editing them?
So just the iPhone. Bought like a set of speakers from Amazon. They're just like the small clip-ons here. And then there's like the thing that you insert into your phone, the receiver just goes into the bottom of your phone, and then just a tripod. And that way, if I'm in the car and I'm on an appointment, it's more convenient to just do a quick video. I'm like ready to go because I just keep my equipment in the car or my purse, whatever. So you can do a video on the fly. If you're already in the neighborhood, do a quick neighborhood tour video, right? Get some B-roll to fit in that B-roll. And then for editing, I'm just using iMovie to actually edit the video. And then Canva and Facetune apps for the thumbnail. And I do have TubeBuddy. There's the TubeBuddy site that you can pay for, but you can also learn a lot on their podcast. Just go to TubeBuddy in Spotify or wherever you listen to your podcasts. And I got the TubeBuddy site because it helps me figure out what keywords are excellent, moderate, or fair, so that I mean, like, I'm not a techie. I don't really know. I'm just still learning like what SEO is better and what's worse, and titles and thumbnails. Like that's not my degree. My degree is business, and this is all stuff I've learned because I want to, and it's made part of my practice. So I would recommend those apps for sure.
I want to tell you, one of the reasons why I joined and I just love Canzel is that I can get 100% commission, I get revenue share, and I get stock. I am making thousands of dollars every single month in revenue share and stocks. And I now don't have to work nights and weekends on real estate anymore. I've actually never been to a real estate agent's retirement party, and I want to be the first one that people are coming to at a young age. And I want to share with you some of my favorite resources. So if you go to joincanzel.com/free, there's a couple that I want you to download. One is a 20 free lead generating PDF. It's going to help you generate leads for free that you can download, as well as there's one on how to double your business. I don't want you to miss it. Go download it today. joincanzel.com/free.
So one of the things that I know that some of our agents have done, and by the way, all Canzel agents have the ability, we have a full video team. So if you do a business highlight, you actually can email video@canzel.com. They will edit it for you. They'll make it reel ready. They'll put the words on it for you. They'll do all of that for free. So it's really nice to be able to do that, because that's just not a great use of your time. Like that way you could be out like selling houses and stuff like that. But so as far as also like, getting one of the people involved. So do you ever in the business highlights so like one thing that we do is, we kind of ask the owner or one of the people, and you kind of go like, hey there, I'm here with Sam of, owner of XYZ coffee shop, having them in there, and can even get just doing it all on your iPhone, having them hold it, getting one of the other employees to hold it and video it. Have you ever done something like that?
Honestly, the tripod, because I had an assistant for several years, and now I've been back on my own again for about a year now. And so when we parted ways, I got the tripod, and I'm telling you, you don't even it's better than someone holding it. So when you're doing B-roll, you're doing the background B-roll, you could just hold your phone, or someone can hold the phone. But honestly, the tripod's the way to go, because it's steadier, and it's just, I don't know. To me, it just works really well. But you could do both.
Yeah. And you can just have it in your car all the time.
And then when you're focused on like talking, and I talk with my hands. So I'm like, da-da-da. So I'm less focused on dealing with the camera than I am the actual conversation and the content of the video.
Awesome. So let's talk about the neighborhood highlights and also the videos that you do of the houses that you list. Talk about that.
So every time I have a new listing, I'll of course do the regular YouTube tour on top of probably a professional video tour and professional photos. But we're just talking video now. So on coupled with all of those other things that we do to sell real estate, I'll do the YouTube tour with me showing the home. And that has suited me well for many, many reasons. For leads, the seller likes it, repurposing it for not only buyers, but agents to show their buyers. Cause like, what if I don't have a floor plan? And then, like, okay, I have a video. Is that better? I mean, to me, that's seems good. So it can help offset some objections too. There's just so many great reasons to have video. So then I'll always, if I don't already have a neighborhood tour of the neighborhood, I will take it a next step, and do the neighborhood tour as well. Just because, again, we have a lot of snowbirds, second, third vacation homeowners here. And if they have no familiarity with Sarasota, imagine having multiple conversations with somebody trying to explain a city. I direct them to my website or my YouTube, because there's so many videos there. There's many different neighborhoods there. It's just, like a picture says 1,000 words, a video says probably more. And nothing beats being here and driving the same streets. But that's second best if they're across the world or across the country, whatever, to have like give me a sense of like, where is this in the city and like what is the neighborhood like?
So let's show a clip of actually you doing it. And when you're doing that one, Harry or Paul, if you can put that up, when you're actually doing the video, are you doing like an intro in front of the house with your tripod, and then you actually are physically taking your camera and going around to all of the places?
The one that you're going to show here, I had my assistant holding the camera, so she was walking, like following me.
Well, I am thrilled to introduce you to a very special property. Welcome to 6140 Manatee County Road. This property, it's hard to explain how special this house is. You can kind of see how exceptionally private the property is. As you can see, when you come up the road, you cannot see the home at all. So when you pull up this really inconspicuous driveway, and it kind of winds around and the home sort of like starts to reveal itself to you. And this whole property just welcomes you with palm trees. You have a cedar tree, really old banyan trees. The landscaping is so well maintained. It's really lush, as you can see.
And so on this one, you actually had your assistant do it. But if you didn't have your assistant, you would just be in front of the house, do a quick intro, and then cut it there and then walk through the rest of the house. Is that right?
Or for this particular property, if I had to do it again, I may start on the beach side because it's a home right on the beach. And so you have that wow factor right out the gate. Usually the wow factor on a thumbnail, I find, is the price. So if you have a higher price tag listing, it's an attention grabber. I've got a $10 million house listed right now down the street, and I just put that price right up there in bold pink and black so that people gravitate toward that. Now, this video that we saw, again, I don't pay for any ads on my YouTube. And I had not looked at that in a long time. I have 11,000, I think, views. But I have gotten leads from that. And I had a guy call from Minnesota. He saw it 2 years. It's been about 2 years. This is about a year and a half ago that he called saying, because it's a $5 million house. And he said he wanted to see it. And I was like, oh, I sold it. But what are you looking for? And he was like, I'm looking up to 15 million. And so we've been in touch, and you never know what this price range, they could just, it's like anything, you got to, weed these people out and see if they're legitimate. But I've gotten calls from that video on Manatee Key, and it's a library forever. I mean, I don't know what anything's forever, but it's unlike Instagram. It's like a library. So it's great for SEO. I mean, it's Google run. So if you want to get your name out there, if you're not doing YouTube, I think you're definitely missing out.
So any market updates that you do as well? Because I'm constantly telling people, like, make a commitment to say every week I'm going to do one neighborhood highlight, one business highlight, and maybe once a month doing, a market update. Talk
Yep,
about
every single month, the last either Tuesday or Thursday of the month, depending on, again, same schedule applies. But with the stats come out on the 22nd, 23rd of each month, again, this is all schedule. Everything that we do is a schedule. Well-oiled machine. So the stats come out the 22nd, 23rd. So then I know I have to video, obviously from then until the end of the month. And I always post a very in-depth market update video on either the last Tuesday or the Thursday of that month. And again, people expect it, people watch it. People tend to watch those quite a bit, among other types of videos, but it's right on the dot, on schedule, without fail. That's just part of the way I've set my channel up, and it's sort of evolved into that, but it's very consistent for sure.
love it. I love it.
And I'm sharing her.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just going to share how she's got it set up. So she has her latest one highlighted, and then you can see in here, she has her neighborhood tours, her business highlights, her properties, her things to do, and then her market stats stay here so people can continually see them if they go to her YouTube channel. She also has her testimonials and then some fun stuff about her dog. So it's, you can see all of that here in the way she's got it categorized on her page.
Yeah, I love it. It looks so good. You did an incredible job on this. What about with Facebook and Instagram? What are you doing there?
I have like I keep 5,000 friends on my Facebook, and then I have two business Facebooks that you can have. So if you have a regular Facebook, you can have up to 2 business pages. So I have a regular business page and a seller page. And the same with LinkedIn. I have a pretty good presence.
What's the reason for having 2 of them?
One's just more gravitated for sellers, and the other one is more general, and it feeds into my Instagram. So my Instagram posts go to that, whereas the seller page is just more like sellers. It's a smaller page. But so you have like your friends and then your followers, right? So you have just more visibility, and trying to do more on LinkedIn. I know that's, I don't know if y'all watch Gary Vee and GSD Mode podcast. These are all guys that are, you're nodding your head, Heather. Tons of podcasts. Those are just one of them. And, they talk about all these things too, and just the consistency of, but I think it's Gary Vee who really emphasizes LinkedIn. So I'm trying to do better at LinkedIn. It's hard to not just post real estate. So they say you're supposed to post 3 personal and then 1 business, but I tend to do the opposite because I'm like, I don't really also want everybody to know about my personal life all the time. So I'm trying to do better at that because, when I'm looking, I'm like, oh, I want to see your dog. I don't care about this house. So like, it's more interesting. So I'm trying to do better at that. I don't know.
Love it. Well, I've enjoyed talking with you so much. That time went by so quick. We will have to have you come back another time. I'll let Heather take over from here, because what we do every time is we want everyone to talk about what they got out of it. One thing they got that they're going to implement, and then also one thing that they're grateful for. So Heather, I'll let you take it from here.
Yeah. And before we end, Shayla, we'll let you tell everyone where they can find you.
Oh, thank you. Well, all my handles are at Real Shayla Twit, only because I got hacked once. So it's now at Real Shayla Twit for Instagram, for Facebook, and for YouTube.
Awesome. Great.
Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, leave a rating and a review so we can get this out to more agents. And tune in next week for another power-packed episode. This is the Millionaire Real Estate Podcast.